Hello, welcome to this new tutorial, Lesson 8, Whack-A-Bat. So this is a version of the classic game Whack-A-Mole, but I'm using this bat sprite here. What happens in Whack-A-Mole, if you haven't seen it, is a character pops up and you have to smash it, as many as you can, within a given time limit. So it's actually going to be a little bit more easier than the last lesson, which was the part 2 of Beetle Race, but uses some of the same code from it. So we've got this bat, and the first thing I want is the bat to appear randomly around the screen, just like the fruit, salad and apple from the Beetle Race game. So let's get going. Hopefully you might know some of this by now. So when the green flag is clicked, and we're gonna forever for the whole game, and I'm gonna put a wait in for let's have say between 2 and 4 seconds. So every 2 and 4 seconds a bat is going to appear. Can't see my bat at the moment. I'll just put show on so you can see the original one. Later on we're going to want to hide it again, but for now you can see it. And what we want to do is create some clones, some copies. So create clone of myself. So just with that, nothing's going to happen. We have to do something when I start as a clone. So the first thing we have to, under looks, make sure I can see the bat, so we show it. Then it's going to go to a random position. So we use this one, and the usual numbers that we use may need some adjusting depending on the size of the sprite that you're using. Sometimes you might see it going off the screen. I'm going to do -160 on the Y here. So that's my random position. So let's just have a look at what we've got so far. So if I press go, so there's a bat coming over here, and another one kind of near the original one there. So we have bats appearing on the screen. So I don't really need to see this original one anymore. So if I go to I and untick that, so now there's, at the start of the game there's nothing. Let's go. And bats, so you see here it's a little bit off the screen on the Y position. So minus 160 is a bit too much. Let's have -150 to 150, and sometimes you just need to adjust these things, and depending where the bat appears depends whether or not we know whether that's going to work out or not. So yeah, we've got bats appearing now. Now it's not really like the fruit salad from the last game. I don't want all these bats to be hanging around. I actually want it to go away. So what I'm going to do here is, after it's appeared, we're going to wait again some random time. Let's keep it quite quick, 1 to 3 seconds. And after that, then that clone is going to delete. So after waiting 1 to 3 seconds, it's going to delete. So let's look at how that is now. Okay, well, still almost a little bit off, but now see they're not hanging around. Sometimes we've got one on the screen, sometimes none. Okay. And the idea of this game from here is that you have to click on these bats to get yourself some points. So let's do that next. So I think this is a new piece of code for you. So under events we have this block when this sprite clicked. So kind of like sprite collision, but not between two sprites. It's when the mouse pointer is on the sprite and I click. So when this sprite clicked, what's going to happen? Well, I'm going to get some points. So if I need points, I need data. I need a variable. Time we're going to come to later, but this one I'm just going to call it bats because it's the number of bats that I've hit. And when I click the sprite, we're going to change bats by 1. And the other thing we're going to do is when the bat's being clicked on, we're also going to delete this clone. So the clone will be deleted after a certain time. Also, if you click it before that, it will be deleted. So why have we got, yes, so that one's showing again. So I'll untick that, and let's go. Wait for a bat, and if I click, you see I got 1 point there, 2 points, 3 points, 4 points. Okay, so I'm getting points for clicking on my on the bats. But if that just carries on forever, probably not such an interesting game. So we need some kind of a time limit for this. So to do that, I'm going to go over to the stage, and of course I want when the green flag is clicked, and then forever. And now I'm going to be using this time variable. So I'll just tick it so we can see it again. You need to make it, click on make a variable, type time, press OK, and you'll get this time variable. So in the beginning, we're actually going to count down. So I'm going to go under the green flag and set time to 60 seconds, so for 1 minute, and we're going to count backwards. So what happens now is we have to wait 1 second, then we're going to change, not bats, but time, not by 1, but by -1, because we're counting down. So let's see that in action. Yep, that's counting back okay. But the computer's just going to keep doing that forever, because we said forever. What we want is if the time is 0, then the game is over. So I need to put an if statement here. So each time the time changes, I'm going to check. So I want equals, and back to data. So if time equals to 0, then the game is over. And we can do that by using stop all. So I'm not gonna make you wait for 60 seconds. Just for testing, I'm going to put 5 seconds, and got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So time is 0, everything stops, no more bats are coming, and the time is not counting. Now the other thing over here, if I press the green flag, you'll notice that bats, my points, has not gone back to 0. So I better fix that. Let's go back to the bat, and somewhere under a green flag, let's just set bats to 0. So bats will be 0 when I press the green flag. Yep, so my points reset. Time is counting down just from 5 seconds. So that's a little bit short. I'll still keep it low just for testing, 10 seconds. Now to add a little bit more to this game, we're going to have some sound. So when I click on the bat, I want some kind of a sound effect. So under this one, when sprite clicked, in sounds, I'm going to go to sounds up here, and often it already comes with this sound effect, pop. If you press play, you'll be able to hear that. So I'm just going to play sound pop. So it doesn't really matter if it's before or after. I think you may not be able to hear this when I'm playing, but you should be able to hear it on your computer. Wait for a bat. Okay, so I think the sound is probably not coming through in this video, but hopefully you can hear it when you're clicking on the bats. So it gives you a nice bit of feedback that you've hit the bat. And when the game is over, we're going to have a sound as well to let you know that your time is up. And one that I chose earlier was this scream. So to get a new sound, you just go to this one, and I went to human, and there's a couple of scream ones. So select the one you want, doesn't have to be the same as mine. Press OK. So I've got 2 of them now, I just want 1. So I've got this scream, and when time is up, it's important to use this one that's play sound until done. The reason for that is if you don't, because you have stop all, the sound will start and it will stop immediately afterwards because we've told everything in the game to stop. So this will play the sound. When the sound is finished, then everything will stop. Okay, let's get it, see if you can hear the sound. We've got to wait time to count down. Okay, and so we have that lovely scream. Now, just to show you, if I take that out and have this one, just going to drop the sound down to 5, and we'll wait for it to get to 0, and this time you're not going to be able to hear the sound, because it tried to play it, but then it stopped it immediately. So, whoops, just make sure you have play sound until done. And I'm just going to delete that one. Okay, and obviously for the real game we want about 60 seconds on the clock. And yep, the point of the game is to click as many as you can in the 60 seconds. Now there are variations. You can make it so that there's another sprite that if you click it you lose points, so one that you should avoid. You can probably figure out it's just pretty much the same way as this bat, but instead of changing your points by 1, you can get some negative points. Perhaps you can have something that gives you more than 1 point just by basically duplicating this bat and changing what happens with the points there. So hopefully you'll experiment, add a few more elements to this game. But that's the end of this lesson. I'll see you in the next video.